on the Juul saga, Juul situation, the Juul vape situation, the CEO has now come out. There's been so much developing in this thing. It's blowing my mind. Every day it's in my news feed, and it keeps going deeper. It keeps diving deeper and deeper. At first, it's like, oh, they discovered a problem over here. Then it's, oh, they discovered this person had a problem. And it's all these kind of like, it's getting piled together. And then the, what are they called? Not the FDA, the CDC, the poison guys are. I think they're the poison guys, right? What does CDC stand for? Center for Disease Control. Wow, that's wild. You don't want to be investigated by them. Will, that's a bad. If you get a phone call from them, let me tell you something. Leave the country, okay? You don't want to be quarantined, or I don't know what they're gonna do with you.
Some hot water.
Anyway, so it kept getting worse and worse, and I kept getting hit with him in my news feed. So I've been following along a little bit, and now we're at a point where there's been enough cause for concern where the CEO of the company has said, don't use the product. Don't vape. Don't use Juul. Which, I don't know. Has that ever happened before? It seemed kind of unprecedented. It seemed like it could only happen in this category, that it would be okay for the CEO to come out and say, don't use, please do not use my product. But of course, you could stop selling it if you really believe that.
You're still making money.
Kind of an odd way of going about things.
But he's saying don't use it as your own, like the only thing you smoke. Like if you're a smoker and you want to get off cigarettes, then fine.
So if you read further into the article, he stipulates, like he suggests that there's a certain optimal customer for Juul. But the problem with that description or that explanation is that's not the way they marketed it in the first place. So they got into trouble for some of their influencer marketing tactics, in which there's no way the people they used in their ads were already addicted smokers that needed help quitting. If they developed it as a tactic for quitting smoking, it would have far different marketing than what it originally had. You can't have teenage girls with the thing, or even girls that look to be 20 or something. That would be an unlikely scenario. And of course, the data is out that that's what the behavior has been. That it has been, that the adoption has been within the young age groups, and then that's precisely where it did well. So to say that you're not targeting that group, anyhow, point being is, he's saying don't vape, don't use Juul. He's saying don't try it. And so if you're a person who is using this stuff currently, you have to wonder how you're going to feel that you have the top person at this company essentially saying don't do this. Even if he puts in the stipulation that, like, well, smoking is also bad, and in that case, it's okay for you to do this, it's obvious that they're starting to shiver a little bit and feel pressure from these various organizations, these various government bodies that are doing this investigation, and of course the lawsuits that are taking place as well. This, to me, looks like an individual trying to cover their tracks. Like it's like somebody who's trying to stop the bleeding, someone who's trying to cover their tracks. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, because otherwise, to have a CEO of any company come out and say, like, imagine a Popeye CEO comes out right now and is like, don't eat chicken sandwiches. Don't buy my chicken sandwich. You don't ever buy my chicken. Don't come to my restaurant. Yeah. Don't come to Popeyes anymore.
He knows something.
He knows something. He's about to be hit.
Yeah.
The hammer is about to drop, and it keeps heating up, and the press is intensifying. He said this particular statement on CBS this morning. So mainstream media took the interview in the first place. You know, the advisors, we're talking billions of dollars here. So, you know, the advisors were like, roll him out there, get him on TV, let him backtrack. Let's make sure we get this word out into the universe to say we weren't complicit. We didn't do the thing that they're claiming we did. We had no idea. We told the kids not to use it. See? Mm-hmm. But it might be too late is the thing. Because they might, be able to make the case that, hey, all these people are already affected. So when this lawsuit drops or whatever it's going to happen to be, you didn't say this early enough. But anyhow, they're doing something. They're apparently also going to force the stores that carry the product to install some kind of electronic system for age verification. So they're really trying to backtrack on this, and we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I would say take the advice of the CEO. If a CEO of a company is telling you not to use their product, that's a fair warning. That's enough. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
That's enough for me. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and suggest. Is he just afraid? Does he really believe it? Of course, I can't tell you. I don't know. His handlers could have told him this is the thing we got to do right. Not his handlers. I mean, he's the CEO, but you know what I'm saying?
Advisors.
Shareholders.
Yeah.
They could be like, this is what you got to do right now. Regardless of what it is that he happens to believe, he's essentially saying the jury's out, though. He's saying the studies are not comprehensive enough yet for me to feel confident to tell you to buy the thing, essentially. And that's enough for me. Anyhow. No, he doesn't vape. This guy, he sleeps in a cryo chamber. These guys are on the next level stuff. He wouldn't be caught vaping. That was like the thing with the cigarette industry. They were like, the guys peddling it wouldn't touch it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyhow.